Despite spending her entire life raising tigers in her backyard, Janice Haley's neighbors believed she was throwing her life away by endangering herself. However, they were soon forced to reconsider their judgments after something astonishing happened between Janice and her two tigers one morning. From behind her picket fence, neighbors whispered as Janice sat in her Florida garden, calmly watching her Bengal tigers, Janda and Saber. Although she knew they doubted the tigers were safe, Janice couldn't shake the feeling that if they saw how the animals truly behaved around her, their fears and gossip would disappear. It had never been easy to live with Janda, an orange Bengal tiger who was strong, and Saber, a white Bengal tiger who was intimidating. Janice first became interested in raising tigers out of curiosity, and that curiosity soon blossomed into a strong love after she quit her boring job as an administrative assistant. She wanted to connect with nature on a deeper level. She took advantage of the opportunity when she saw an ad for a tiger training school in her local newspaper. Janice knew that big cats could be dangerous, even if they were used to people. Tigers were still wild animals, and she was aware they could hurt her if they got too close. But for Janice, the rewards of her work far outweighed the risks, even though she acknowledged them. She built a large enclosure in her backyard and began caring for tiger cubs that needed a safe place to grow. She quickly realized how much she loved her new work. However, not everyone in the neighborhood agreed with her. Janice and her helpers were passionate about the animals and wanted to educate people on the importance of wildlife conservation. Despite her dedication, she faced abuse and often saw people outside her home speaking negatively about her. Janice understood that some people didn't think it was right to keep such powerful animals in captivity, even if it was for their well-being. For various reasons, these tigers couldn't be released into the wild, and living in a sanctuary, even a small one, provided them a healthy environment to grow and thrive. Janice also realized that many people didn't understand her desire to be close to such dangerous animals. Their fear clouded their judgment, and they often believed it was only a matter of time before one of the tigers seriously harmed her or one of her helpers. That morning, Janice approached the tigers as they roamed the garden sanctuary. She opened their enclosure and went inside with them. A small group of curious neighbors had gathered outside her house, intrigued by what they were witnessing. Some still believed the tigers should be in the wild, while others thought Janice was crazy for entering the cage with two massive tigers. Yet, everyone hoped she would emerge from that yard unharmed. As they watched in silence, holding their breath, they couldn't have anticipated what happened next. Janda and Saber began to move toward Janice, circling around her. Then, to everyone's surprise, both tigers stopped in front of her, and she gave them a tight hug. Jana and Saber didn't move. Instead, they gently wrapped their large paws around Janice's shoulders. It was a moment of deep connection, and what happened next shocked everyone. In that embrace, the onlookers finally saw more than just a woman with dangerous pets. They witnessed a powerful example of love, kindness, and understanding. When the whispering stopped, Janice smiled, feeling victorious. She always said that any negativity could be blocked out the moment she walked into the cage with Janet and Saber. In their presence, she felt calm and forgot about the people watching in awe. Janice closed her eyes and lay down next to the tigers. There was a quiet calm over them all, a silent language of understanding between human and animal. At that moment, they spoke the same language. Janda moved closer to Janice, slowly placing a big paw over her shoulder, giving her a warm hug. The beautiful tigers seemed to understand everything Janice did for them and wanted to show their appreciation for her care and love. Janice thought back to the time when her life changed for the better as she lay in Janda's arms. She felt a deep connection to Shuffer, her first tiger cub. Even though she knew her new job was risky, she realized she had made the right choice when Shuffer arrived at her home just 2 years after she decided to open the refuge. His arrival marked a major turning point in her life. From the moment she held that tiny, helpless cub in her arms, she felt an overwhelming urge to protect him. She nursed the sick cub through many long nights, ensuring he had everything he needed. As Shuffer grew, so did their bond, a bond that transcended species. Shuffer's presence in Janice's life strengthened her determination to spread awareness about the rarity of Bengal tigers in the wild. His playful antics and sweet nature gave her hope and motivation to continue her work. In 2002, Janice made a big decision that further defined her mission. Driven by her passion, she welcomed Jay, a bright and curious orange Bengal female, into her sanctuary. Jay brought a new energy to the place, and her playful attitude reminded Shuffer of his younger days. Shuffer loved having a friend to play with, and Janice often smiled at their joyful interactions. Sadly, Shuffer passed away in 2007, and Janice was devastated. Shuffer had been the tiger that made her dreams come true, the first tiger she ever cared for, and he taught her how much of an honor it was to care for such magnificent creatures. Jay, too, seemed lost without her friend, her lively personality dimmed without Shuffer in her life. Janice knew what she had to do. A new little tiger cub named Saber was brought into the family. He was just 2 weeks old, and Janice fell in love with him the moment she saw him. He had beautiful white fur and sparkling blue eyes. With Saber's arrival, the refuge regained its sense of purpose, filled with the wonder and innocence of childhood once again. Even though Saber was young, he had a quiet strength that Janice connected with and admired, reminding her of how powerful these magnificent animals truly are. Under her watchful care, Saber thrived. Jay, acting like a mother, took Saber under her wing, and the two became more than just companions. Janice's desire to educate people returned. Although she still missed Shuffer, she had learned a lot from the experience and was ready to open her sanctuary to more people, beyond just her family and the workers who helped her. All of this had brought her to the moment she was now sharing with Janda and Saber. While some still didn't grasp her profound love for big cats, it saddened Janice that people misunderstood her. She cared deeply about both human and animal safety, which is why she implemented strict protocols to ensure everyone's well-being. Despite no accidents ever occurring at her refuge, her neighbors continued to cast worried glances her way. She understood their fear. Janda and Saber were massive, and even she had been startled the first time she heard a tiger's roar. But Janice knew something about tigers that most people didn't. Even her harshest critics had witnessed the gentle and trusting way she interacted with her tigers. They saw these powerful creatures allow her to kiss them on the nose, a bond that transcended species. Though initially skeptical, they came to realize the depth of Janice's love for the tigers and how deeply the tigers loved her in return. While she couldn't offer them complete freedom, they saw she was doing everything possible to care for them, while educating others about wildlife conservation. And for many, that was enough. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comment section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.